Out here, we entertain ourselves at home. So we got an Atari video game. There's so many different games to play. We especially like Space Invaders. Zapping those little devils from outer space. It's fun. But personally, I think the whole idea of creatures from outer space is a little far-fetched.
No other company offers you as many different video game cartridges as Atari.
Boy, it's a hot day out.
Oh my goodness. Are you back in Florida? Like, this is looking like nice weather.
No. Don't you see the New York City skyline behind me?
Oh, but you look like you're ready to jump in, which I don't know if you want to jump in that water.
No, I forgot we had a show today. I'm sorry. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. How are you?
Wait, that's not even sunscreen. That's like tanning oil, I think I see in your hand.
Well, it's kind of like sunscreen, tanning oil, you know.
You got the real Italian in the house. He's like slathering tanning oil on himself to go outside.
Forget about it. How's it going, Steph?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Doing okay. You got my little Florida, summer shirt on here, I know in Texas, it's like 150 degrees, right?
It feels like it. It's currently 101 outside. I don't know, Florida, if you can hear me on that one, because we both have the humidity and the heat.
That's right. That's right. It's hot no matter where you go. Even across the pond in England and all in Europe, everywhere is getting this crazy heat wave.
Well, and people don't realize, so back in 2017, I lived in France for about 5 weeks with my husband and then I only had Zachary, my son. And we very much appreciated the fact that America has air conditioning, because it is not a thing for most European homes to have AC, because they actually have really well brick houses. So it's pretty well insulated. The cool stays cool in the summer and normally, hot in the winter. But we were in the south of France and we could not get enough windows open and fans blowing for a good few weeks that we were there. We were sweating to death. So I can only imagine what everyone there is feeling right now, because it's got to be horrific. I can't even imagine no AC.
Wow. À la plage, right? To the beach?
À la plage, oui. Faut aller à la plage. You have to go to the beach.
Je m'appelle Steve.
Ah, très bien. Si tu parles français, c'est magnifique.
Oui, oui. That's it.
Come on, Italian's really close. It's
I know. I have to brush up on it. When your children could out talk me with a different language, I need to do something about that.
Well, we're practicing. My son Zachary takes French class. We've actually put him on hold for that for a little bit, but he would come back and share sentences, which I thought was great. And then he likes to share them with my mom, who's French. And so she gets excited. But then, of course, she wants to fix the accent and make sure he's saying it correctly. But yeah, it's nice to be able to share that with the kids.
One of the greatest visions I've ever had was at night in France, going down the River Seine at night and then turning the corner and then seeing the Eiffel Tower there lit up at night. It was a beautiful, beautiful sight.
That's awesome. Sorry, my daughter. Can you want to come and say hi? I have my 3-year-old who decided that right now is the time that she wants a ring pop.
Oh, ring pop. Okay.
Or a lollipop of some sort.
Well, while you're doing that, we are Kick Unhealthy Relationships to the Curb. That's Stephanie McPhail. I'm Steve Vaccaro. We're here at Tan Talk. Thank you, Bobby and Carmine, for doing a great work. And Carmine, some fast shuffling to get this show off on time here. Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340, AM 1350, AM 1400, FM 106.1, and FM 104.3, tantalknetworks.com. If you want to join in, please do. It's 727-441-3000. That's 727-441-3000. We've got a great show here today. Giovanna's coming back with another nutritional tip for us, a video that she put together. We're going to string these things along because she's got a message to tell, and she's trying to help her out, her old man, a little bit. So we're going to pop that on. And we have the people from Pour It Forward. Do you like pets, Stephanie?
I love pets. I'm a big animal person.
Do you have pets in the home now?
I currently just have a cat. I always had dogs, though, up until 3 years ago. Always had dogs.
You can't just say a cat. Cats are animals, too.
Oh, they are. They are. They're definitely, she's got a favorite. It's definitely my husband, and I never know why. Cats always have their people, I feel like. And I've always, I think I'm like one of those Disney characters, like I just want to pet them all and love them all. But cats don't really care about that. They just like, you're a little too much, leave me alone. I'm really only into this person that doesn't pay any attention to me. That's my cat, loves my husband. And my husband's like, I don't have time for you. And she loves him more. I don't know how he does that.
Well, because cats don't want to be bothered. They just
they don't care.
And Dave's got it. He's got the right approach to it. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. He knows what to do. Just don't give them much of anything, and they want you more. Is that like a thing? Is that like Kick Unhealthy Relationships to the Curb? I
think we need to do another show about cats and their personalities, and how they deal with different people.
Unhealthy relationships.
This is Kick Unhealthy Relationships to the Curb. We have 4 shows on the network tonight. This kicks things off. Kick Unhealthy Relationships to the Curb every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. And then we have Voices for Change with Miriam and Jera from 6 to 7 live in the Clearwater studio there. 7 to 8, we have Reach Out with Ray, Steve, and Robbie. And then bringing it all in at 8 to 9, Chapters Rap Wednesday Night Live. We have great guests tonight. But we have a great guest on our own show, Pour It Forward. There we go. There's our network. Pour It Forward. We have Danielle and Linda will be on the show. Okay, we're going to be talking about cats and dogs. Bobby, right on cue. There we go. All right. Now we started, today is Space Exploration Day. Did you know that?
No, but I've been loving the photos of the other worlds, basically, that we've been seeing lately with the Webb telescope.
Okay. So you're paying more attention, what's going on, NASA. So we're going to do a little game. I play a little game because I like to play these little games. But before we get our game going, tell everybody about your book first.
Sure. Well, and I live in Houston. So Houston's all about the shuttles and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
which
Houston,
Florida,
we have a problem.
Yeah, I know. There's problems all over the place. But yeah, in Florida too. So my book, actually really cool. Before I talk about my book, I am doing my first in-person speaking events in the Houston area, actually, this Saturday. I'll be signing books and doing a speaking event. I am so excited because I've just been doing it virtually for the past 2.5 years. And I'm excited to be able to really be in front of actual real life people sharing my story. It's really cool.
Is this the first time you're out of your house in a year?
It feels like it. It definitely feels like it. But yeah, so
congratulations.
Thank you. I mean, hopefully there'll be a good turnout, and one way or the other, there'll be people that need to be there and hear my story. But basically, so my book, Being Loved Shouldn't Hurt, is all about my story of healing from the cycle of toxic relationships. I was someone like probably many of you, maybe right now, that was stuck in a cycle of toxic relationships. I would find one person, I would see the red flags, see that things weren't working, but then I would try everything in my power to try and make things work. And it was very much to my detriment. I started to lose myself. I didn't know who I was. And I really needed to get back to myself. So my story, or my book, is all about my story of, the downward spiral that I went down trying to save these people, but also the beautiful part of healing and being able to inspire other people to know that no matter how long they've been stuck in a toxic relationship, no matter what they've been through before, anything is possible for them to heal. And the sooner you start taking action on it, the sooner you can actually start getting the benefits of all that hard work that you're doing.
That is such great work. I mean, that book is outstanding, and the workbook too goes along with it. And I'm sure all the clients that you work with, I mean, you really, work with them step by step on how to alleviate their toxic or unhealthy relationships, correct?
Yeah. And I want to say, I actually did a training yesterday in my group, because I have a private Facebook group with like almost 17,000 people in it, which is just cool. But I did say, and Steve, don't get offended, but I did talk about when is the right time to fire your therapist. And of course, for those of you who don't know, Steve does do therapy, but I did have to throw stones a little bit at that.
Never.
Never fire your therapist. Well, I think what happens with a lot of, maybe even people that are listening right now, a lot of people don't know the difference between what a therapist is and what a coach is. And they're very different in a lot of ways. Some of my best friends are therapists. So, I love the therapist, and it was great in my healing. But there comes a point where we've talked about how we've gotten here. We've talked about our childhood. We've talked about all the reasons why we are the way we are. But then there comes a point where we say, okay, now what do I do? And that's literally where I come in. Like, okay, we figured it out. We know what's happened, but now we need to create something new for yourself. So basically my job is to kind of handhold, give direction, and steer clients into the direction that they're looking to go into. So, like with clients, like actually I had a client just, the other day talk about how she had been triggered for years that her ex was living his best life, and she was still there kind of not really living so great. And so we got really focused on her creating her life. What is it that she wanted to do? Stop focusing so much on him, and then really, really focus on taking every step every day to make the right decisions for herself. And then all of a sudden, and then she had a session with my husband, David, who does mindset work. And all of a sudden she was like, oh my gosh, I don't feel triggered anymore. Those things that used to bother me, they literally don't. And now I feel like I have the freedom to create whatever it is that I want. And so it opens up the possibility to create whatever it is that our clients are looking for. So it's really cool to be able to see the overlap between therapy and coaching, but overlap, but not the same. Right. Having both on your team is really helpful, which is one of the reasons why I think it's great we actually have Steve and I together, because it's similar perspective, but also different as well.
Yeah, I was only kidding. There is an appropriate time to not go to therapy anymore. I don't really believe in the ongoing therapy, because there's a lot of approaches out there that you can really tap into, more behavioral approaches and situations where you have specialists or on-hand training in different ways. And I think I've always been more of a short-term therapist, where I utilize the support of other clinicians or other professionals or people that you can establish a team. And a different perspective is always needed sometimes from different people. So I'm actually one of the therapists and the clinicians that don't like to see it go on and on and on, because I think there should be a target, and I think there should be a goal, and I think there should be a collaboration with other folks as well. So I've always lived by that. So I admire what you just said and what you're doing.
Well, and I get sometimes, I get sometimes frustrated for my clients when they say, I've been in therapy for 25 years.
Right.
And I'm like, and you still haven't figured out what's going on? 25 years, you've been talking about the same thing over and over again. And, and then I have clients that come to me and literally, 2 sessions with me or 1 session with me. I had one client today talk about how her children were being sexually abused by her then husband. And she found out, ended the relationship right away, went into therapy, but couldn't let go of anything. And her and I started working together last year. And she said by like the 4th session, she was a changed person. Like it wasn't something that triggered and bothered her anymore. It had been 27 years, I think, since her children had been basically attacked, had been sexually molested. So, I don't really understand what goes on sometimes. And, there's clinicians like you that are really focused on the movement forward, but then there's a lot of people that are kind of just allowing their clients to stay stuck and not giving them the direction and tools to actually now create something different for themselves.
Right. You brought up this this book signing you're doing on Saturday in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
When we first met, it was at a book signing. I don't know if that was your first one, but it was kind of early in the game, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was pretty close. I think my book was just I'm trying to think of when it was 2020 or 2029. And so my first book I wrote in 2018. I was pregnant and people were laughing because I was working on my business, writing a book and pregnant for basically all of 2018. And they're like, how do you, and working a full-time job. And everybody was like, how are you doing it? Because I was like sleeping like 5 hours a night pregnant. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just in creation mode. Like I'm making a baby and I just feel like writing a book and making my business. And I was just birthing all this new stuff.
Wow. I didn't know all that till now.
The visual. Yeah. You get the visual of it. Yeah, I was just,
so
yeah.
I can't take credit when we met for all the success you have from then on.
Oh, well, of course you should. Of course. Definitely was because of you.
I'm just making sure I can take a little bit of credit here. But you know what? That was a great day. I was told to, I have this author in Long Island, and I want you to interview her. And right from the get-go, I saw that bubbly personality, but that knowledge and passion to help others right off the bat. And right after that interview, I said, Stephanie, what do you think about doing a show together? And he said, okay, I have to run it by my boss. So we met the next week at a diner with Zachary. And he was telling me, all kinds of things, eating the French fries. And it was all good that day.
He was eating his French fries. I was eating my salad. And yeah, we had a great conversation and realized that we needed to keep working together and really share the message with others.
But what I love about Zachary that day, he was sharing his French fries with me. So you weren't sharing your salad. So, but anyway,
he's a very good share. He's very
good share. Yeah. Well, that's Stephanie's book. This is Kick Unhealthy Relationships to the Curb. We're here every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. If you want to join in, please do at 727-441-3000. And our Chapters Network, it's a nonprofit 501c3. And basically what we do, we pay it forward and support in a lot of different ways through networking, collaboration, support, and providing a media platform right now. So it's a program that's been around for a while, but we incorporated the network and the platform, the media side of things, the network, because I believe that if you put a microphone or a camera in front of someone that's inspiring or empowering or wants to help others, well, then you can help so many more people at that point in time. So I believe that our Chapters Community Support Services continues to do work that we're supporting the people in each community, one chapter at a time. So, Stephanie, I'm just so happy that for the last couple of years, we've been able to do this show and to really empower and invite other professionals that are doing great here. And I want to thank Bobby behind the glass. And you can track us down by chaptersnetwork.org, or you can contact us directly, 516-476-6271. And we have 80% of our staff, 80%, have some sort of challenge, disability, or going through transition in life. So I'm happy and proud of that aspect of the work that we do. And it's been great. Last week, we were at Olive Osmond Hearing Fund. We provided the entertainment that night. We also did a live broadcast. And Carmine, our great producer, edited everything we filmed, and he killed it. We have a great video that's almost like a documentary on that evening. And I want to thank everybody. That's Justin Osmond, who's part of the Osmond family. And Justin was born with a hearing loss. He wrote a book. He was the highlight of the night last week. And I want to thank Debbie Mayfort and everybody for doing that. But you know what? It's Space Exploration Day. You ready to play this game?
Before we play the game, I just got noticed that we have Helen on the phone.
Yes, we got a little surprise. Okay, we're going to be a little surprised because next week I'm taking the day off. I didn't even tell you this. So I'm bringing on Helen to co-host with you. This is exclusive right here. So I want you to meet Helen and Helen to meet you. Helen's on the line. Helen, you there?
I am. Hi, Steve. Hi, Stephanie. How you guys doing today?
We're great.
Good. So, Stephanie, this is news to you, right?
It is. And actually, I'll be in Myrtle Beach on Wednesday. So I'll be in a different location also. Not just Steve can just roll around the country like he does.
Wow. Okay. So are we telling Helen she's doing the show on her own, or are you going to be doing it from Myrtle Beach?
Breaking news. Helen, you're doing this all by yourself. No, just kidding. I plan on being there. I'll just have the background of the lake behind me as, a little difference.
Well, Helen, meet Stephanie. What do you think of Stephanie, Helen?
I absolutely adore Stephanie. I have so many questions. I need some coaching. Talking about the past relationships that I've been in. And I can't wait to talk to her because I have a lot of questions. I was writing a lot down as she was talking before. And it's going to be a lot of fun and probably very possibly painfully eye-opening for me. But, hey, I'm nothing if not authentic. So I can't wait to see what she has to say. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yay. I'm excited. So I'm going to get to actually kind of like counsel and coach you as also you being the co-host, which is great. That's awesome. I look forward to that.
Right. So Stephanie, you're going to have to do a little bit more work this week. Everything can't be on my shoulders. So you're going to have to take over next week. All right. I don't care where you're from. Myrtle Beach, Florida Beach, anywhere. I mean, anywhere. It's up to you and Helen now.
Good. We got this, Helen.
Little girl power.
You're driving the bus. I'm just going to be doing what I'm told to do. So I think it will be quite interesting. But you know what I found interesting is when you were talking about coaching versus therapy, because I'm a coach as well, but obviously not a relationship coach. Otherwise, I would be fine following my own advice. But it will be quite interesting as to what your takes on are for a couple things with me. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to tell a lot of my friends to tune in and listen up, girls. Just listen up.
There we go. Helen, she has a show on the network, Positive Spaces, and she's doing so many great things behind the scenes. She's in a documentary, which on breast cancer is going to be released in October. So Helen, she's going to be the moderator for that. Helen, thank you so very much for filling in for me next week.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I have so many questions written down, and also to talk about a show I think that you and I are going to be doing together very soon.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. He said, she said, and we'll go over all that stuff. But Helen, thank you for joining us for a few moments here, and Stephanie and you will be best buddies right after that.
Girl power.
See you guys next week. Thanks. Have a great night, guys.
Thanks, Helen. Okay, well, I wanted to tell you in person, but you're very busy. I'm very busy. You have book signings. You're planning a trip to Myrtle Beach, all this stuff. This is the time I had the time with you.
Hey, it's like those people that ask someone to marry them in front of a very large audience. It normally doesn't turn out very well. Luckily, we're good. So
I think about 2.5 years, I could spring something on you as a surprise. I think that's good enough. What do you think? The honeymoon period's over. The honeymoon period's over.
It works. It works.
That's right. It worked. It worked. But space exploration. Let's get back into this game. You want to play a game? You ready?
Let's go.
Get ready. Get ready. Space exploration. So I worked this out with Bobby and Carmine. So now I'm going to give you 5 shows. I want you to cover your eyes. Make sure, let's get it. Let's see if she's covering her eyes. I want you to tell me, don't peek. I want you to tell me, there you go, don't peek. I want you to tell me which show comes to mind. Space exploration. Play the first one, Bobby. Okay, it's our show, Stephanie. All right, time's up. All right, what do we got?
That was Bewitched, but that's kind of that would be maybe a little bit of exploration because they're always like going on crazy adventures. Oh no, that was the Jetsons.
The Jetsons. What are you talking about, Bewitched? This is space. Wow, I tell you, man. I tell
you, these games are hard, Steve.
I know. All right, cover your eyes. Number 2. Ready? Here we go. You can play along at home, too.
Oh, and can I guess as soon as I think I know what it is?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Blurt it out.
Gotcha.
Hit the buzzer. Whatever you got over there.
I thought I had to, like, write it down and remember.
No, just scream out. Just scream it out. That's all. You
Okay,
know.
I'm ready now. I'm really ready this time.
In Florida to listen to you scream it out so they could play along with us. Right, cover your eyes.
Okay, go.
Here we go. Number 2.
I Dream of Jeannie?
Yes. All right. Yes. I Dream of Jeannie. You got this now. That's 2.
All right. How many more? How many of these do I have to do here?
16 more. No. Just 3 more. You ready?
3 more. Okay.
You probably dread every Wednesday afternoon now, don't you?
What kind of game is he going to do this week?
All right. Ready? Here we go, Bobby. Take it away.
It's not Lost in Space?
No. All right.
This one sounds old. I don't know this one.
Okay, it's an old joke. Okay, it's an old one. Lost in Space.
That's what I said.
Oh, you said Lost in Space?
I said Lost in Space.
Oh, okay. All right. That's good. I didn't hear that.
I don't actually know that show, but it sounded like Lost in Space, of like the little bit that I'd ever heard.
Okay, why don't you know that show?
Because it's old.
I'm not liking this. Okay, 2 more. You ready? 2 more. Cover your eyes. Right. Come on, cover your eyes, will you? All right, go ahead.
Space, the final frontier.
Star Trek, yes. You said before. Star Trek. Very good. That's an old film too. William Shatner. All right, 1 more. You have to get this one.
I'm better.
The easy one. Here we go, Bobby.
Star Wars.
I love Star Wars. Bobby, give her a round of applause to all the people back in the studio in Florida. There we go. Awesome job. I know people driving the car in Florida, either they changed the channel or they played along with us. 727-441-3000. It's all about nutrition. Let's check out Giovanna, what she has to share with us today.
Hey plant friends, and welcome back for another episode of Planta by Gia. Today I'm going to show you how to make the best vegan sloppy joes with some homemade coleslaw. I have honestly been debating posting during these crazy times, but I have come to the conclusion that I can only control my actions and myself, and what I want to do during this time is spread love as much as possible, putting good vibes out there and showing people how to live healthier lives, make yummy plant-based foods. I hope that you guys enjoy. So today we're going to make some yummy sloppy joes, and I'm also going to give you a tour of my garden. So I actually live in Queens, New York, on the border of Queens and Brooklyn. I am very blessed to have a little backyard. Not many people have backyards around here. I started planting about, I want to say 3 to 4 weeks ago, but they have grown so much, so I can't wait to show you guys. Let's go check it out. You want to show everybody the garden? Come on, let's go. Let's go to the garden. Come on. So let me know where to go. So let me know where to go. I wanna find you. So this is my little garden. These are my babies, honestly. So over here we have zucchini, eggplant, and then this in the middle are cucumbers. This is where I planted all of my peppers. So I have bell peppers in here, really spicy peppers like habanero. I put some jalapenos, and they are starting to sprout. When you see the flower, that's where you're gonna get the vegetables. A few tomato bushes. I have 1 more pepper over here, more tomatoes, and I actually put my crystals in the middle just to give it some more good energy. So these are my crystals that I put right in the middle. You know what's weird too is I keep finding random crystals in the garden. So these 3 are mine, but like I just found this in the garden the other day, and then I found this one. I don't know, so it's kind of crazy, but crystals keep showing up in here. Some strawberries in here, or tomatoes. I guess I'm gonna be getting a lot of tomatoes this year. And over here are all my herbs. Some purple basil. I also have more basil, thyme. I have rosemary in here, parsley, cilantro, some mint, thyme. So yeah, guys, this is my little garden. But all right, enough of the garden. Let's get inside and make some Sloppy Joes. Okay guys, welcome back to my kitchen, the greatest place on earth. I hope you enjoyed my garden tour, but now it's time to get into the good stuff. So for the vegan Sloppy Joes, our main ingredient is lentils. Now lentils are extremely healthy and they're also amazing for good gut health. Good gut health is extremely important for honestly everything. Our mood, sleep, concentration, energy levels, weight loss, the list goes on. So our gut is made up of good or bad bacteria. Now, after a while, after eating a lot of acidic foods like meat and dairy, this can cause bad bacteria in our gut to build, which can later cause inflammation, acid reflux, low energy levels, low serotonin. Actually, it's crazy. 90% of our serotonin is stored in our gut, which just goes to show you how important our gut health really is. So in order to promote good gut health and restore your gut health, what we need to do is to, you guessed it, eat more plant foods. So plant foods are going to heal anything that's going on inside of you. Because like I say, food is medicine. Lentils are also the healthiest of all the legumes. They are extremely high in antioxidants, which help promote good heart health and prevent cancer. They're also extremely high in fiber, which help aid in weight loss. And they have loads of protein in them, so they're great to add into all of your meals. All right, so now let's get into the recipe. So for the recipe, we are going to be needing 1 cup of cooked lentils. So to cook the lentils, what you need to do is open them up, and I like to rinse them and also strain them and sort through them to see if there's any little rocks in there or anything. Remember, they come from the ground, so you should definitely wash them. And after you wash them, you are going to pour them into a pot and then add hot water into the pot. And then you're just going to turn on the stove, cover them up, and let it sit for about 20 minutes. It's a pretty easy process. So 1 cup of the cooked lentils. Then we're going to be needing a half of a green pepper. You can use a green pepper or a red pepper. I use a green pepper, and you're just going to dice them pretty thin. Then we're going to be needing half of a yellow or white onion, and you're also going to mince or chop these pretty thin. We're also going to need 1 15-ounce can of tomato sauce, 1 tablespoon of vegan Worcestershire sauce. I hope I'm saying that right. But so regular Worcestershire sauce actually has fish in it. So it's very important when you're looking for the Worcestershire sauce to get the vegan kind. I actually love this brand from Annie's, I think it's called, and I will link it down in the description. We're also going to be needing 1 tablespoon of coconut sugar. I like using coconut sugar because it is more natural and much less refined than regular refined white processed sugar. 1 teaspoon of cumin, 3 garlic cloves minced, a pinch of salt and pepper, and a pinch of smoked or sweet paprika. And we're going to be putting these Sloppy Joes into these whole wheat buns. Now, I love eating whole wheat, whole grain breads. It's much healthier for you than eating refined, processed white bread. Also, if you're looking for a gluten-free option, you could totally just sub these for gluten-free buns. So, let's get to cooking now. Okay, so to start it off, we are going to turn on our stove to about medium heat. Let that heat up a little bit. When it's warm, we're going to add about 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And then we are going to add in our onion. And we're going to add in our garlic. I love this thing. It's a garlic mincer. It makes it so easy. And just moving it around. Now, when you cook onions and garlic, it's actually called sweating. So you don't want the heat up too high. You want just a little sizzle so that you actually make the onions and the garlic sweat, which releases their fragrances and their flavor. Mix it all up nice. And we're just gonna let this sit over medium heat while we make our coleslaw. Let all the flavors absorb into the lentils. And it's basically done. That's how easy it is. All right, so let's go make the coleslaw. Okay, now for the coleslaw, we're going to be needing a bag of cabbage with some shredded carrots. I got this at Trader Joe's, but you can grab bags of coleslaw mix at almost any food store. We're also going to be needing a half a cup of vegan mayo. Yes, I said it, vegan mayo. Guys, you can eat anything when you're plant-based. Cream cheese, mayo, butter, yogurts, everything that you love, you can still have plant-based. So yes, a half a cup of vegan mayo, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, about a teaspoon of salt, and a tablespoon of coconut sugar. So what we're gonna do for the coleslaw is we're just going to put in a bowl, add in our mayo, some apple cider vinegar, coconut sugar, and our salt. And we're just going to mix that around. Hey my friends, it's beautiful outside, so I wanted to come outside and do the final taste test. Look at that. It smelled so good. All right, you ready? Wow. So good. So flavorful. Coleslaw gives it a nice creamy. I'll probably have it all over my face. And the lentils soaked up all the flavor from the spices and the tomato sauce. Delicious. So like I said, and like you saw, this dish is super simple, super easy. It's delicious. It's very quick to make. It's one of my go-to meals, honestly. I hope you guys enjoy it. Like this video if you do. Comment down below if you would try it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love you all. Stay safe, beautiful, and healthy. And I will see you for the next recipe. There you go. More? You want more?
Wow.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. She does a great job, doesn't she?
Does she cook for you? Does she come over and cook for you?
She does. She does cook for me, and we've been seeing more of each other. So she cooks for her husband. She cooks for me. She helps a lot of people just like you. She's like a mini of you, Stephanie. So she does great work, and she does a lot of work virtually. So.
Oh, the time she came on the show, I just knew that her and I were, similar vibing. We're very similar in a lot of ways.
Yes. But this video ended with her 2 dogs, and we have the folks. We have Danielle. I don't know if Linda's with us from Pour It Forward. They have a big event coming up, and Danielle has dedicated her life for animals. And Danielle, are you there? Danielle?
I'm here. It's Linda.
Oh, Linda. Okay. Hey, Linda, how are you? Oh, that's Danielle. Oh,
good. How you doing?
Linda's on the phone. Danielle's on the video, right?
Yeah.
Danielle, we can't hear you, though, Danielle. You're muted. All right. So, Linda, talk about Pour It Forward.
What can I say? It's an incredible organization ran by Danielle. It helps many, many families in their pets in Nassau County. They do help others. From what I heard from Danielle, I know they've done deals with Mexico they've gone into, any hurricane relief, any disasters. If there's a fire in a home, I know they can reach out to Danielle, and she will try to help them set back up for their pets. And I personally had experiences, I told on another show recently, that I had gone through some hard times, and I was blessed to have met Danielle, and that's how we met, because she helped me with my pet rather than having to make a hard decision and not being able to keep my girlfriend. She helped us, and we were able to get through it, and now I work there to follow through with everybody else.
Right. So you obviously, Linda, you have a love for animals and to restoring their lives and helping people, educate people also, but also providing food during this pandemic. Has it been challenging for Pour It Forward to work during the pandemic over the last couple of years?
It has. No, but there definitely has been an increase in people needing help. Sometimes it was very, there'd be 15 families, and other times we've seen 30, 40. It's beautiful to see that people have a place to go, because there's always help for people, but there's not always that place for the animals. So
you have a couple of events coming up, right? Talk about these events that are coming up.
Okay, so we just did one event that was Nuts and Butts, and that was great. A lot of people came out. It was very nice. But the big one we're having coming up is August 20th. We are doing a block party in Valley Stream. There's a webpage for Pour It Forward Pantry. It'll always give you information on what's coming up and what we'll be doing. We've had a lot of people help as far as giving donations from different merchants, and a lot of people were doing raffles. There's a 36-foot water slide, DJ, band, so many activities. Should be great. Can you hear me?
So I believe Danielle is on the line now. Danielle, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, thank you very much. This is Kicking Healthy Relationships to the Curb. Stephanie McPhail and Steve Vaccaro, your host. If you want to join in, please do. It's 727-441-3000. We have the folks from Pour It Forward, which is based in New York, but I'm sure that you're connecting with people all over to accept donations. So, Daniela, talk about Pour It Forward and how it all started.
It all started about 5 years ago. We were sending donations down. We partnered up with rescues that were taking donations down to Florida, to Puerto Rico when there was hurricanes. So when we realized that there was so much need out of country, and we really realized that we need to help the pet owners to keep their pets here in Long Island. So we do still send out, like I have somebody who just went to Mexico, and we sent down collars and leashes to help them. So that's how it all started. So now we help everybody when we can. We send stuff down to the Ukraine when we partnered up with somebody that was going down there. So now we realize there's a lot of need here, especially with the pandemic, a lot of people out of work. So it's been a lot of stuff going on.
So the pandemic was really challenging for a lot of us, and especially for you. I know you went through some significant losses in your life, and you were able to continue to maintain your efforts to help animals and animal lovers. And talk about how you persevered through those difficult times.
If it wasn't for all my volunteers and Linda and all the donors and supporters, we couldn't keep it going. So that's why now we're doing that event August 20th, because we need to raise funds for a new cat shed so we could get more cat donations in and have a place to store it. So we're doing that big event in August, and we're really in need of raffles, businesses that could donate some gift cards, some businesses that could donate some food, beverages for the event. We have a lot of amazing donors already that are donating us 36-foot water slide. We have a DJ coming. We have a snow cone machine, popcorn machine. So we have a lot of that going on, but we still need a lot of tickets to be sold and people to come. We're going to be doing raffle baskets to raise money, as I stated, for the shed that is desperately in need, and for cat supplies, because we never get enough cat supplies.
That's right. And, you know, the focus of this show is to bridge the gap between New York and Florida. So if you're out there in Florida, you're saying, well, this is a New York thing. How can people help you from, if they're in Florida, anywhere else in the country, Danielle? Because I know it's such a need all over, but your grassroots efforts have done so much over the last 5 years. I'm just proud to know you and to acknowledge, and I'm impressed by all the work that you've done. How can people help you from a distance?
We have an Amazon wish list. If you go on Pour It Forward Pet Pantry, Long Island, New York, on Facebook, there's an Amazon wish list. We always need cat supplies, so they could always ship it directly to us through our wish list. So that would be great. Cat supplies is very, very little.
So your volunteers, how important are your volunteers to the cause that you have now? Pour It Forward. You can reach out 516-491-8781. Daniela, we lend a pour to those in need. If you need assistance, contact them. happypouritforward@gmail.com. happypouritforward@gmail.com. So your volunteers, talk about your volunteers for a moment.
Oh, my volunteers are a blessing, because without them, it would be very hard to continue the efforts, because without manpower, without behind the scenes, networking, everything is volunteer based. I have a lot of people I met after the pandemic, and they've been a blessing. We always need volunteers to help out at the pantry or picking up donations from our donors. We always need people to help us out at events. So if it wasn't for the volunteers, I could not continue leaving Pour It Forward open to help the pets.
Right. I mean, amazing work that you do. And I think, Stephanie, I mean, we talked about the need for support for pet owners, but also for pets in general. Sometimes when we have these natural disasters, we forget about the pets that need attention. And you mentioned earlier in the show that you're a pet lover.
Yeah. I mean, and as a plant-based person, like, you know, animals to me are so important. As to, you know, they are part of our families. They are part of our lives in so many ways. And to be able to have that love, that unconditional love of your dog, of your cat, of your pet, that just looks at you with those big, beautiful eyes and is just, you know, they're there. I mean, my dog, I had a golden retriever that was there from like my first toxic relationship all the way until I met my now husband, who's wonderful. And he was there for the tears, to lick up my tears and to give me hugs when I needed them. And just dogs are just wonderful little angels put on earth to help us through the most difficult times and the best of times.
Well said. What do you think, Danielle?
Absolutely.
How do you feel about animals in general, Danielle?
Well, I think they're amazing. They're very comforting. They're very supportive. I have 2 dogs of my own, so.
And tell again, people, how can people help? First of all, this is Kicking Healthy Relationships to the Curb. We're here every Wednesday night from 5 to 6 p.m. And I want to thank Bobby behind the glass and Carmine for doing such great work. If you want to call in, please do it. 727-441-3000 in Clearwater, St. Petersburg, and Tampa, AM 1340, AM 1350, AM 1400, FM 106.1, and FM 104.3, TansTalkNetwork.com. So, Danielle, how can people, if they're just tuning in, they're driving in their car anywhere, how can people connect with you or learn how to help before your event on August 20th?
They could definitely reach out to us, as you said, at happyportforward@gmail. We definitely need donors to donate supplies for the event, but we always need cat food, cat litter. We help a lot of foster-based rescues in Long Island. We partner up with Fabulous Feline Rescue, which is in Long Island. They're foster-based, so they're a real big supporter of us, and as we are of them. So definitely, they always can reach out to us at Forward Forward, Pet Pantry, LI New York, on Facebook.
And Linda, talk about your thoughts about moving forward in the second half of 2022 right now with Forward Forward. What's your goal?
Well, the big thing is, you know, there's been a major crisis with the pandemic, as you've mentioned, and it's definitely left people in a different place. But now, even after that, there'll always be a need. Animals are innocent and need our help because they can't have their own voices. So we need to be there for them. And I agree with Stephanie. It's so incredible what these dogs can do and cats can do for you. Animals in general. You just are so good for people's mental health as well as physical well-being. So it's a great call for them that we should stand up and make sure they get covered and always have a backup.
Well, thank you very much. We got to say goodbye to all the Floridian friends here. I can't say that fast. Woo! But thank you, Linda and Danielle. Thank you very much. We'll see you August 20th. I know you're going to be on our other show next week on the network. So God bless. Thank you for your efforts. The TV people, stay with us. Radio, we'll see you real soon. So, Stephanie, what do you think about their efforts right now?
I love it. I mean, my mom did animal rescue for years and years and years. I remember being a little kid, and she actually used to go and volunteer at a wildlife rescue center. And so I remember being probably about 6 or 7 years old and going to try to help those animals that were hurt at the wildlife rescue. And then after that, my mom's actually a professional dog trainer, and she's constantly sending me information about dogs in the area that need to be rehomed or that need to be rescued. And so my mom's very passionate about that. So that was a big part of my life for a long time.
Wow. You just bring up all the stuff. Your family is very, in tune to a lot of things. A lot of great work.
But it was interesting though, because for me, I think growing up, so I became a vegetarian at 13. And, my mom, was always really into animals. And I think at about 13 years old, I suddenly realized that for me, I saw no difference between the horse looking at me, because I had horses growing up. So the horse looking at me versus the cow versus the pig versus the dog versus the cat. They looked back at me with these big, beautiful eyes. And I was like, I can't kill you. Like, I can't eat you. This is terrible. And I was brought up loving animals. And then I was like, wait, we love animals, then why do we eat them? And I never got really a great response. And so, I became a vegetarian at 13, and now I'm mostly plant-based at 44. And you know, it's not that I didn't like to taste it. I just didn't like anybody dying. So, you know, that was my thing.
I have to change my ways after this show. I've learned more about you today than I did in 2.5 years. I can't believe it. But, you know.
There you go. You're hearing it first, Florida, and everybody else that are listening in right now. So
there we go. There we go. Well, we have a few moments left. Good luck with you on Saturday in Houston, the book signing. Get your signature down right. I don't know how many books you signed in the last year and a half. But,
yeah, seriously.
You know, leave your house for a little bit, enjoy the heat, then go right back in. But we're putting together 2 documentaries. One we mentioned earlier in the show on breast cancer, Christina and Helen and Deborah and all the other ladies there that are involved with it. This documentary, I'm okay, you'll be okay too. The journey through and beyond breast cancer. Our Chapters Network is feverishly putting it together and editing it. It should be really ready for release the end of October. And again, it really supports our mission of paying it forward. And I want to thank Christina and Helen for putting this all together. And we're doing a second documentary. I'm a Minnesota Viking football fan. So let's check out a little sneak preview of this documentary that's coming out in December of this year. Let's check it out.
All right, wait.
Dramatic, right?
That was amazing. Yeah.
Amazing. Little snippet. Vikings never won a Super Bowl. I think if I put a documentary together, they're going to win a Super Bowl. So anyway, there we have it.
Field of Dreams, build that they will come. Is that that's going to happen?
Something like that. Something like that. But Steph, we got to go. Have a great week. I'll see you a little bit down the road, okay?
All right, sounds good. And I'm going to keep practicing my signing hand for my Saturday book signing.
You know what this is? It's called a pen. You know what a pen is?
Ouch. Ouch.
There we go. Keep practicing. We'll see you guys next week.